All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off here with the indices, go over SPY, QQQ, jump into the Mag 7 stocks, and then I have some trade ideas at the end of the video just for you. All right, guys, so we did continue pushing today. We had this bullish setup coming into the open. All right, we're consolidating here in SPY and QQQ in this little box we had going on. You broke the highs and you continued. Now I'm just going to say we're at 666 right now. It's either a lucky number or a very unlucky number. All right, what is it for you? But I'll tell you right now, guys, I think we are going to continue pushing in the short term, just going off of what DIA and IWM are giving us here. All right, it does look like they are going to get new highs in the short term. If we pull back and these stay, you know, not at new highs, if they stay consolidating here in this range, I think we do have a move up later on in the short term, okay, which means that that pullback here is just going to be for, you know, a couple day pullback before heading up to new highs. All right, so we probably are going to continue pushing in the short term, but into the second half of the week, guys, I'm looking for a pullback slash maybe we get a rug pull. I'm telling you, they're loading up on puts, okay, as we're continuing to make these new highs. With these divergences, they're loading up on puts. IWM, SPY, QQQ, IWM just ended up having, what was it? We had the 11/21/232 put loaded for about 4 mil right after the bell there. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you, you know, SPY and QQ, they were put heavy today. All right. The fact that we have that going on with this, you know, triple bearish divergence now here on the 4-hour RSI, it tells us to, hey, all right, it's confirming the bias we had coming into this move. Okay. Which is, it's a time to be taking profits. Okay. And then you get that correction and then you can re-put on that risk at a lower price. Okay. You can add it back when it makes sense. So that's still how I'm looking at things. I think that's the correct way to be looking at things. I don't think people should really be chasing this thing up here. I do think we go a little bit higher, just again, because of how DIA and IWM are set up over here in the short term. It looks like if we get a pullback, okay, we're just going to stay consolidating here. And then at some point in the short term, probably by next week, we take out this high. All right. So if we start selling without this thing going up for another leg, that's what we're going to be looking for. All right. We're already not looking for it to be anything crazy, but you know, at the end of the day, that is a little clue for us if we get it. Okay. So if we sell without DIA getting over that high and going up for a next little leg, considering we barely got to move after that breakout, I imagine at some point we will hit the jets. We will see some vertical action over here. But yeah, until we see that, you know, that's going to be the bias. But what I think is more likely is we continue pushing here in the short term. All right, let's come over here. We continue pushing here in the short term, and later on in the week, I do think we get a little move like that. All right, ahead of time, that's just how things are setting up to me. I also will point out decreasing volume. Why do we have higher prices and decreasing volume? Well, then again, you know what? No, they should have had a higher volume than over here. It was OPEX. Okay. Either way, decreasing volume on this move. Things are pointing to don't be chasing this rally. That's all I'm telling you right now. Okay. There you go. I got some individual tickers that are going to be performing very well. All right. At the end of the video for you. You don't have to be trading these indices, chasing it sky high into the sky up here. You don't have to be doing so. You could take the safer approach. Okay. Pullback. Okay, what are we going to be watching for that? On the downside, we have 600.05, 595.85. All right, that was Friday's low. Underneath there, 592.86, which is going to have the daily 9 EMA right over here. If we pull back without DIA and IWM pushing up to new highs, I fully expect buyers to step in over here between 587.86 and 592.86. I could be wrong, but again, that's how things are setting up ahead of time if we get that scenario. The other scenario is we continue pushing and then later on we'll get that sell. But, you know, it's very obvious now that, yeah, we are getting extended there. Over here when everyone, for some freaking reason, was bearish right over here. Not us, okay? But for some freaking reason, everybody wanted to become perma bears right down here when in reality, we have not violated a last weekly low the whole time. All right. You didn't take out that low there. You didn't take out that low there. You then broke highs. What do you think comes next? You have a breakout move. That's what typically is going to follow that. All right. That's what we got. All right. On the upside for QQQ, guys, we're talking 602.87 above there. 605 is that next cycle level above there. 608, 610. Downside 605, 595.85, 592.86. Around your daily 9, and then 587.86, which, you know, if you take a few sessions to get down there, 21 EMA is going to play some catch up. It's going to be right around here. Okay. So that's where I'm expecting buyers to defend in between the short-term moving averages if we pull back without going a little bit higher. Okay. Without DIA breaking out here and IWM, they look like they want new highs. I'm going to assume we get new highs. I'm going to assume we get the most probable scenario here, and we do continue a little bit higher tomorrow just to fade it. All right. Doesn't have to fade it tomorrow, but I'm definitely going to say you have the 15-minute RSI spending the whole entire session in overbought territory right off rip from the open. Yeah, it's probably going to correct at some point. So you should not be surprised when that happens. There you go. Same thing over here on QQ. Spent the whole entire session in overbought territory on that 15-minute RSI. These things give your pullbacks. Okay. Just expect it. That's, you know, all I can really say there. As far as SPY goes on the upside, guys, levels above 667.29. Today's high, we're talking 670, 675, 680. On the downside, we have 664.89. Today's low at 662.17, 660.27, which again is right around that daily 9 EMA. Same situation. If DA and IWM do not push up for new highs tomorrow in the short term and everything starts pulling back on us, we are going to assume that they're going to buy this for just a feeble pullback here, mean reversion to the moving averages, and then we're probably going to push up to new highs. But let's just say you don't hold there, okay? You can take out 660.27. Then we're talking 656.90, 654.30. And we'll leave it at that because that's where the 21 EMA is, okay? Now, I already talked about enough over here. DIA looks like it wants to go up for a new high. I think it's going to do it. I think it takes out 464.37 in the short term. And IWM also looks like it wants new highs. I also think this is going to take out Friday's at 245.57 in the short term. I think IWM is going a lot higher. I think people are somehow going to get bearish because everything's overbought, okay? I'm telling you right now, macro time frame, monthly time frame, this is going to have a ripper of a move. Whether it pulls back in the short term is irrelevant. All right. We're going to call the shots and play them how we see fit. Okay. But all you need to know in the back of your mind, the big picture point of view is this thing's going a lot higher. It's about to explode. You're about to see another move like that, and people are going to miss it. I don't know what else to say about it. People are going to miss it. But there are a lot of names that are going to be participating in this move over here with small caps, and I'll make sure I point them out at the end of these videos as we go. Okay. All right, guys. And VIX over here was green on the day with SPY being green. That does give you an 85% chance over the next two sessions that you're going to have a red day on the S&P 500. Okay. I just thought I'd throw in that little stat for you, but definitely is something we could talk about there as well. Okay. Why is VIX green? Well, it's because of what I was pointing out. Okay. They're low. It's put heavy today. Okay. VIX is going to be going up when puts are bought and calls are sold on SPX. Okay. And it goes down when calls are bought and puts are sold on SPX. Okay. Well, why is it up today as the indices up? Well, guess what? They were loading puts or selling calls. It's one or the other. And I'm telling you, they're doing both. All right. Okay. Mag 7 stocks, guys. Again, I'm just going to say overextended. And, you know, before we move on from the indices, guys, just realize like it can keep going. Just realize it's going to have that correction. You don't need to, you know, be scared when that happens. You can easily prepare and just be ready for it. And then you take advantage of it and maybe you sprinkle on a little more of cheddar cheese, okay, on the upside, okay? You get to catch a mean reversion. You get a nice low risk entry, okay? You get that, you're ready, you're having a good time. You get that, you're not ready, you're not having a good time, okay? So just make sure you're in a position to have a good time. You have some ripper of freaking moves happening right now. I'm going to point out one right after we cover the Mag 7 stocks that just started going today, and it's going to be a big freaking winner. It's going to be a big mover here this week, and you guys probably already know which ticker I'm talking about because we've been pounding the freaking table on it. Damn right we have. And I hope you guys are banking. Okay. But Mag 7 stocks, guys, they're overextended. Does that mean everything's going to pull back? No. Apple to all-time highs incoming in the short term. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see about it. 260.10 is that all-time highs. Above there, 270, 280. Those are your next cycle levels that you're watching. At some point, this thing probably is going to travel up to $300. No, it's not going to happen right away. But that is the next big cycle level once we break 260. All right. But yeah, definitely getting ready to break that all-time high, okay? I don't care if it pulls back in the short term. That's where it's going. If it pulls back, it's your opportunity. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right, 241.32, we talked about it, okay? That was your trigger level for further upside. Above there, you're probably going 250 plus in the short term. It only took one more session, all right? So Apple, all right? It's bullish pressure on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. NVDA over here, guys. Big move today. Heavy, increasing volume on this move today. Okay. 184.47, breakout to new all-time highs. It's imminent. We technically hit all new all-time highs today. But the actual breakout move, it's imminent. If it pulls back, just like Apple over there, it's your buying opportunity. But just realize that this thing, now that it's having this breakout, okay, even if it's just going to, be a little, just a little move like you got over here, okay, it still went 8%. Okay, it still went 8%, but in reality, you got this. All right, you have this big old range here that you spent so much time building out. Okay, so much time. See that? Over a year. And you just broke out from it. And you didn't even go that far. You did, but it's only 20%. In terms of this, it's chump change, okay? And then you put in the bullish consolidation, pull back to the short-term moving average here on the weekly time frame, and now you broke up from your bull flag. Straight up, this thing is probably, that's why I say the market can easily go higher in the short term. I'm not telling anybody just short the market. I'm just telling you, if you see that correction, make sure you're prepared for it and make sure you can actually take advantage of it and you're not panicking over it. All right? You don't want to, be in a high-stress environment there when you have to make decisions. It's not a good idea. You're going to make sloppier decisions, just how it's going to go. All right. On the downside, if it does pull back, which honestly, I don't think you're going to get 180 in the short term, but 180.28 is the level you're watching. That was your breakout level today. On the upside, 184.47, 190 plus incoming in the short term. Tesla, guys, this is why I've been very vocal about it the past few sessions. And then the weekly update. I think they're better tickers to trade. I fully exited Tesla on last week there, and yeah, I missed this little move, but I'm telling you, it's frustrating and it's not in the impulsive move right now, and there are definitely better opportunities out there that are going to give you a much easier time. All right, so I'm just saying, give it a few weeks. Hopefully Tesla is still in consolidation here, and then we set up something like this before that next ripper of a move. But I'm telling you, this is weak structure right here, and we're probably going to come down and fill it. So that's what I'm thinking on Tesla. I don't think anybody should really be trading this long. I know it's going up to all-time highs, guys. It's going to happen, but path is important. Okay. Path is very important. People want to, make these calls, and yeah, it's obvious. Okay. When you're sitting down here, oh yeah, anybody could call for all-time highs, but what was the path? Okay. What was the path? That's what we, that's what we specialize here on this channel. We talk about the paths. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, this path could very well end up looking like this and be very frustrating for people. Not you, though, because you're prepared, okay? It could go just like how it did over here. And how did that happen? You went down, you went up, you went down, you went up, you swept the high, all right? That's frustrating, guys. What is going on, okay? Yeah, that's what happened, okay? This is exactly how that went. But that's what I'm talking about. This can take another 2 weeks here, and people are going to be real frustrated if you're trying to trade it. I'm going to point out some opportunities here that just started moving. That can be your money printer, okay? They could be our money printer. They could be your money printer, okay? Microsoft, it's getting ready for a move, I think, later on in the week. Up, all right? Maybe that's going to be tomorrow. Maybe it's just going to, grind sideways and prepare for that next leg up. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'll tell you, the thing wants to break above 520, and above 520 brings 530 plus. That's what I got for you guys over here on Microsoft. I really like the structure that's forming over here, and I do think they're getting ready to turn this thing around and set this 530 plus. That's Microsoft. Amazon started breaking down today, guys. All right, you got this little range you got going on the past 3 sessions. You start breaking down from it. I'm just going to come over the weekly time frame. I still don't think they're going to break it down underneath the 21 EMA. I can be wrong. Okay, I can. But, you know, over here, you ended up making that move underneath the 21 EMA from new highs. Okay, we are sitting right underneath all-time highs. I don't think they're going to do this. I don't think so. I think they're more likely to just keep it in this range, okay? And then at some point over the coming weeks, send it up. But it's up to you if you want to trade this name. There's a lot easier tickers and a lot better moves that I'm calling out on a consistent basis here on this channel that you can easily take advantage of. This is something that, yes, the swing move is loading here, but it's not moving up yet. It's not. It's clearly still in consolidation. So just realize if you are trading it, and also with Meta over here, you're not going to have the cleanest time for the time being. Meta, I've been vocal about how I think this month is not going to be the big breakout month. I think it's going to be October. All right, my birthday month, October 4th. Oh, yeah. Why? Why, guys? We put in the shooting star candlestick over here, and you could just look back and you don't get much of anything the following month. Okay, you really don't. You had one here, you didn't go anywhere. You had one here, you sold. You had one here, you got a whole bunch of nothing, and then you sold. All right, you know, so I personally didn't want to be trading this thing this month, and I am just going to tell you, this is right on schedule. All right, this is the frustrating back and forth price action that we were expecting over here. That looks very similar to what you have over here. Okay. It's still going to break up the all-time highs, but it's going to put in consolidation here with all likelihood, and it's going to wait until next month, I think. All right, so you don't have to be trading it. Google, all right, got slammed earlier on in the day. Not really recover there. I'm just going to say nobody should be chasing Google right now. At some point, this thing pulls back, has a mean reversion here on the weekly time frame, and you don't need to be involved in that. You don't need to short the thing. It's in a clear, aggressive uptrend, okay? You have the MAGS ETF. You could keep trying to short it, but every single day here, the thing wants to go higher. Okay, just wait. All right, so I'm not telling anybody to short these things. I'm just telling you, you're probably not going to have the cleanest or best time going along in these things. This thing has rocketed, and this thing is not giving you much to play with. There you go. There are your MAG 7 stocks, guys. Now we got some trade ideas for you. We're going to kick it off with the hottest one, okay? I got 2 hot ones, actually. I mean, you know, we got a lot of things moving today. But I'll tell you right now, this thing's going to freaking go, and I'm hyped about it. You should be hyped about it, too. We started moving and grooving today. We knew the move was coming. The move started to it started happening over here. You know, real talk, this thing's going to fly, guys. I think 150 plus incoming by end of week. I think 140 plus incoming for tomorrow. And yeah, congratulations if you're making money on this name right here. Congrats. All right. This is a nice freaking move, guys. This is a nice freaking move. And I think it just started. We had that base. We were watching for a breakout from this, you know, little ascending wedge or whatever you want to call this thing. Point is, consolidation was getting real tight. We knew at some point it's either going to break up or break down. It's very likely going to be breaking up with the flow that we had coming through over here. All right. You popped up above 125.67 today, and you guys could see what happened. The thing decided to hit the Jets. All right. Well, it hit it with the break and retest offer level, and then it hit the Jets. Okay. And I think this thing has a lot more in the tank. A lot more. All right. So I do think it's likely to continue having this price action we've seen in the past when this thing starts going. All right. And once we get the trending move started, okay, we had a pop over here. You didn't just continue the move. I think at some point we're just going to get these straight green candles over here, or we are starting a full-on reversal back up to the upside. All right. All I'm saying is this is a sick chart over here. This thing is going higher. All right. Congratulations if you made money today on CRWV. If you want to come trade with me, that link's down below. You guys can use code CRWV off 50% off of the lifetime membership. So if you guys would like to lock that in with me, all right, you get unlimited trade ideas till the end of the time there. There you go. Have a blast. But yeah, either way, guys, I'm telling you, this could be your money printer. Even if you're not involved in it today, this is a stock that's just getting warmed up. It's very likely going to be heading back up to all-time highs. All right, we caught this one early, but I'm telling you, this is literally day one of the setup. Okay, this is day one of your breakout from said setup. All right. And above 134.30, next target is going to be 142.5, 148.80. Above there, this thing goes a little crazy. Okay. And I think it might go a little crazy, but yeah, that NVIDIA pump today sparked it. All right. So that's CRWV. We got another one heating up over here, and I think it's going to be another big winner this week. Sound. All right. Sound. I gave this to you guys when we were still, not breaking out over there. So you definitely had a better entry price, but I'm telling you, volume's back in the move here. You just got the breakout above 1708. All right, guys. Above there, you have nothing until 1885. Above there, 20 bucks. All right. 20 bucks. That's your big psych level there. And above there, we go all-time highs. We go 24.98. And I think there's I swear, I think there's an honest shot here that this thing gets up to all-time highs over the next few weeks. But in the short term, this thing's heating up here. I think it's going to continue heating up. Dips are going to be your buying opportunities. If you happen to see consolidation on this name, clear as day dip buying opportunity. I don't think you're going to get the consolidation on the name. I think this weekly candle is likely going to turn into a larger one, okay? 1885 is that next target on Sound. Congrats if you're making money. ASTS, all right? Oh, baby. You got your breakout today. You technically hit it with the break and retest, but you got your breakout today. I personally entered this one on Friday, and I'm telling you right now, this is another one that I think is heading back to all-time highs. You have a picture-perfect break and retest going on over here. As of last Friday, you reclaimed the weekly 9 and the weekly 21 EMA, and now this thing is getting off to the races. If it's going to be like this last trending move here we had, honestly, you could just look back at any of them. This thing goes vertical, okay? And this thing has been compressed for weeks now, okay? This is quite a bit of consolidation going on, 2.5 months here, and it's just now starting to break out of that, okay? ASTS, likely going to be above 50 tomorrow. If you see dips, they're going to be your opportunities on this name. Next one, Rivian. Another one we've been talking about, but it just now ignited that freaking flame over here, guys. This thing's going. Above 1503, next stop is 1598. Above there, 1715. That's what sparks the monthly move, okay? That's when this monthly chart starts turning around, okay? It's going to be really freaking pretty over here, but I don't know if you're going to make that move right away. I think you might have a little bit more time on this name. I really do. This is the ticker that's been consolidating for what is this, 3 weeks now? 2.5, 3 weeks, and you just started breaking up from that. This is likely going to get some legs. I do think we are going to see probably 16 plus in the short term over here, Rivian. PLTR. This dip is your buying opportunity for the move up to all-time highs. I hope you guys made money. I personally took it off, okay? But I'm looking to get back in, okay? I gave it to you guys when we were down here and here. I gave it to you when we start breaking out. I gave it to you right here. Now I'm telling you right now, if you took profits with me, I think we're going to get this other opportunity over the next few sessions here. I think we might get a deeper pullback into the 9 EMA. All right, and that's going to be around 173. I think we're going to get it. No guarantees, but either way, I'm telling you right now, the thing's going up to all-time highs, so it's up to you if you want to wait for that pullback to get in or not. The thing is going to be going up to all-time highs in the short term. 190 above there brings 200 plus. PLTR. AFRM. Okay, AFRM over here, guys, it's very clearly the weekly and daily chart. They are shaping up for this big move, guys. And I wasn't sure if you got to put more structure in here before going or not. I'm really not sure. But you did end up giving us a little pullback there. So, that would be, I like that. I like that. We have a lower wick on the weekly candle if this thing wants to get over 93.20 now. Over 93.20, guys, this is a rocket ship waiting to happen. All right, over 93.20, we're talking 100 bucks. And then I think 108.20 is going to come the same week. All right, when this thing goes, it gets these massive freaking moves, massive 20 to 30% moves. All right, we're talking from current price right here. You get a 20% move, you're coming up to 108. Okay, 30% move, almost 120. All right, so AFRM, keep it on your radar. VST, I think this move's coming over the coming sessions. It's pulling back here in the after hours. Okay, we caught a little snippet today. All right, but I'll tell you right now, I think this thing is going to stay in consolidation for the time being, and it's going to continuously give us those dip buy opportunities on the smaller time frames for the eventual breakout move. I do think a big breakout is coming over here. You barely got to move over here. You pull back to the weekly 21, and now you're impulsively pushing back up. You're consolidating it right underneath that breakout level, that previous all-time high right there, okay? This is one you should keep on your radar over here. If you could scoop it up on a dip, that's how you're going to have a better time, okay? But that's VST. I do think a big move over here to the upside is loading. I think 230 plus is incoming. All right. Uber, I'm just going to say, you got that move over the highs today. I think this thing is going to be going higher, but in the short term, we might get that pullback. If it's going to go like how it trades every other time, yeah, that pullback's going to be bought around here, around your moving averages. You're going to move back above today's high in the short term. So you could keep it on the radar. But either way, if you load up down there, now you got your breakout. Or, well, you swept the high. Now you got that move back up the high. You could take it off if you want. You could leave it alone if you want. It's all up to you. You could trade it for that move to 105 plus if you want. But I'm just telling you, you might get that pullback in the short term, okay? All right, guys. And last one, I'm just going to point out TEM, guys. We're going to be watching for this one to build out consolidation between 72 and 90 bucks. I know. Pretty crazy stuff right there. Henry, you're just talking about a big breakout. Well, honestly, we did get a big move this morning. It just faded within like 15 minutes. Yeah, it was like 5 minutes. You were up there for like 5 minutes. And, you know, congrats if you made money on this name today. Contracts went freaking crazy this morning. They went nuts. All right, your weeklies went crazy. My 1017 calls went crazy. You just had to be so freaking quick about it. All right, so I'm going to tell you, the fact that it's trading like this tells us they're probably going to build out more structure in this area before sending it. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about it, but you do have the bullish bearish divergence over here, triple bearish divergence on the daily RSI. You do have this, you know, tightening wedge formation going on here. All right, I'm just pointing out price is compressing. Okay, it's probably going to get that breakdown I speak of in the short term here, and we're probably going to get another stab at it over here. But I personally took everything off today because of what I speak of here. And I hope some of you guys made, you know, killer money on this name. All I know is the hundreds I added, they were over 100%. The 90s I was adding, they were over 200%. And then the thing gets freaking slammed within like 5 minutes. It's okay. So just understand, guys, if you're having frustration trading this name over here, you could easily focus elsewhere. This is just how the thing wants to trade. All right. You have a lot of back and forth over here. We're likely going to get another, you know, banging opportunity on this name, in my personal opinion. But I'll keep you guys posted. All right. For all I know, it either gets slammed this week, we get what I'm talking about, or we get bought right back up tomorrow or on Wednesday, and we take out this high and we're talking 110 plus. All right. I'm not exactly sure from here, but I will keep you guys posted on it because it's definitely a name that we should keep on watch here for this move. This is going to be a massive breakout here, and we want to catch that bad boy. All right. But for the time being, you don't have to. Okay. All right, guys, that's what I have for you guys today over here on Grab. It also looks like in the short term, it wants to break up from this consolidation. You had the heaviest weekly volume. You closed out the heaviest weekly volume you've ever had on this name last week. I think this is going 7+ in the short term over the next 1 to 2 weeks. All right, your dips are going to be your buying opportunities over here. If you see them, every single one of them gets bought every day. Okay, at some point, yeah, okay, the music will stop playing like that. But until that happens, that's how the music is playing, and you continue seeing the volume pour into this name. I think higher prices are incoming. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. Another one is Hood. It's a no-brainer over here. IBM, maybe some of you guys made some money off this one. I was pointing it out before the breakout over here. You're now at target. Okay, you're at the 0.618 fib. I know I sounded crazy the other week, okay? Well, it was last week, not the other week. Technically the other week. I know I sounded a bit crazy, saying once we get over 260.66, I think it's only a couple of weeks until we're at all-time highs. I know it sounded a bit crazy, but do I look all that crazy now? All right, I'm going to be honest. It still can be the case. You can have this vertical move. I'm not saying this, you know, this slow, you know, stair-stepping your way up. I'm talking one of these larger weekly candles. It very well can happen one of these weeks, and I'm fully expecting it. That's IBM. Congrats if you're making money off here, but in the short term, you can see a pullback. This is the 0.618 fib. Daily RSI is now overbought. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. This name very clearly can go into that vertical mode. And I'm telling you right now, I think it is going to go into that vertical mode. I'm just saying, if you rode this up from where we originally pointed out, you can easily take your profits off. I know you're up over 100% on this 10-17 calls. I know you are. You only need a 10-point move for them. All right, and that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. All I ask is that you guys leave a like on the video just to, you know, help support the channel, help to get this content out to more people. All right, more eyeballs on our little corner of YouTube over here. But yeah, you know, honestly, I hope you guys are having a great time. I hope you guys are finding a lot of value in our content here. I do put a good amount of time into it. And I hope I just take a lot of the time that you guys have to, you know, scan the markets. I hope I take that time off your plate and put it onto mine. Okay, that's really the goal here. All right, if you guys want to come trade with me, you can use that code CRWV for 50% off of the lifetime memberships, and you can lock that in for just $800. It's cheap, I know, but I am a nice guy. Either way, guys, all right, that's what I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys freaking killed it today. I really do. I think this is just the start on this name over here, and I think this is a money freaking printer over here. All right, and I hope you guys are along for the ride. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.